Well, I'm Scott Little, and I'm a doctor of chiropractic, blessed and privileged to care for people of all ages and animals of a variety of size and species here in my practice in Woodland Park, Colorado, caring for mostly people in Teller and Park County. Occasionally people from El Paso County come up the pass to receive chiropractic care. And then my horse practice, I go out into the community and care for large animals out wherever they are. Well, my new patient orientation, or what I'd prefer to call my new practice member orientation, is one of the most important things that I do as a doctor of chiropractic. Doctor means teacher. And one of my primary and most loved responsibilities as a doctor of chiropractic is to teach people about chiropractic principles, philosophy, science, and professional objective, and how those might come together in their lives to improve their quality of life, health, vitality, etc. Now, my chiropractic story began in the first grade when I began getting daily headaches. I'd have to ride the school bus about 45 minutes every morning, and by the time all the bus fumes had come in and I got kind of car sick, I basically started the day with a headache that just persisted throughout the day. When I'd get home, I'd take aspirin or Tylenol or whatever kind of painkiller I could, and it would go away, but then it would come right back the next day. And frankly, that was my life experience throughout elementary school and junior high and high school and into college, and it dramatically affected my performance in school, my ability to concentrate, my ability to comprehend material, and who knows what I could have become had I not suffered these daily headaches. In the 5th grade, I was taking horseback riding lessons and on a little Appaloosa mare named Chiquita, and she went rodeo on me, and I fell off, landed like a lawn dart on my head in the concrete arena, suffered a tremendous concussion, and that certainly did not help my daily headaches. By the 5th grade, the same time as this horse injury, I took this standardized testing in school and was found to read at a 4th grade reading level. So when we all went into the 6th grade, I was still reading at a 4th grade reading level and suffered the humiliation every day of going across the hall to the 4th graders, passing 4th graders coming into the 6th grade reading class. It was bad. And I was largely a C student throughout my entire academic career, and I have no idea what I might have become had I not had these headaches and been able to comprehend and read better. So I graduated from college, still with these headaches, also occasional bouts of back pain, and the other thing I suffered from childhood was recurring infections, strep throat type infections, and would go on antibiotics about every 6 months or so. And they'd go away, but they'd come right back. Well, I went away after I graduated from college. I came out here actually to Colorado and worked on a guest ranch up near Cheeseman Reservoir, Lost Valley Ranch. And when I came home from the winter season, my family had started going to a chiropractor back in Indiana, and they said, well, you need to go to our chiropractor. And I did. And within weeks, my headaches were all gone. Didn't come. I didn't get headaches at all. Didn't have to take aspirin or Tylenol or anything like that. And I investigated what would it take for me to become a chiropractor, and I'd have to go back and take physics again, retake it because I got a D in it in my first undergrad attempt, and so I did retake it and got a B+, and I entered chiropractic college. And I really wanted to put chiropractic to the test, so my headaches were gone, but I would occasionally get this low back pain, and instead of taking painkillers and so forth for that, I would get adjusted, and it took a while, but I would still get these throat infections, but I was encouraged to give my body a chance to heal as opposed to just getting on antibiotics. And, when I first started that, I would not take antibiotics. I would get adjusted to allow my body a full opportunity to heal, and I would just let nature take its course. And it took about the same amount of time as it did when I took antibiotics. But this went on over the course of a year or two, and giving my body a chance to change, consistently getting adjusted, allowing my body to get stronger, not taking medicine. My headaches went away, my back pain went away, and my immune system thrived. And so I, as I say, decided to go to chiropractic college. And, if you had asked me at that time what chiropractic was good for, I may have said it's great for headaches, it's great for back pain, it's great to boost your immune system or build your immune system. What I would come to understand is that was a complete misunderstanding of what chiropractic was, how chiropractic worked, and why it was that my headaches were going away, my back pain was going away, my strep throat was staying away. It wasn't because chiropractic replaced medical treatment. It was that I was not needing that medical treatment. And today I have a saying, chiropractic never replaces the need for medicine, ... unless chiropractic replaces the need for medicine. Does that make sense? If my headaches are gone, I don't take daily painkillers. If my back pain never comes back, I don't take medicine. If my infections don't come back, I don't take antibiotics. Well, I had to come to an understanding of what chiropractic truly was, and that's the most important thing that I am communicating to you today, because when a person seeks chiropractic care and a chiropractor accepts that person as a chiropractic patient or practice member, it is imperative that they be on the same page, and that requires communication, and it requires an agreement, because we don't typically go to medical doctors or other therapists for the same reason that we go to a chiropractor. Well, I love this saying by John Ruskin, when love and skill work together, expect a masterpiece. When love and skill work together, expect a masterpiece. Well, I love chiropractic, and I love you because you are a creation of God whom I love, and the best way I can serve and honor Him is to use the skills that He has given me to love you and make your life more of a masterpiece through chiropractic care. And I love what Dr. Caroline Leaf says. Your purpose is not that thing that you do. It's the thing that happens in the lives of others when you do what you do. Well, my purpose is to be a chiropractor and to apply chiropractic principles and practices to the people who God sends me. But the big thing and the magic is what happens in the lives of those patients, whether it's a newborn child or a senior citizen or a Chihuahua or a Clydesdale. I have this slide, the chiropractic approach to, and then I have about 100 different symptoms there. And then the next slide is the chiropractic approach to, and another 100 symptoms. So what is the chiropractic approach to allergies or cellulitis or COVID-19 or fever? Or what is the chiropractic approach to gout or gastritis or neck pain or toothache? Is there a chiropractic adjustment unique to tooth pain that's different than the one that's for a cold sore or diabetes or ataxia? Is there a specific chiropractic approach to a hiatal hernia or hypertension or Parkinson's disease? And the answer is no. We're going to talk a little bit about the professional objective of chiropractic, but that's going to be the answer to the question that I'm going to ask you if you choose to come in and be a patient. What is the chiropractic approach to? And the answer is that there is not a specific chiropractic approach to any medical condition, any symptom or disease, but rather we teach people that there is such a thing called a vertebral subluxation. And the vertebral subluxation represents a major interference to the expression of life in your body and mind. The vertebral subluxation represents a diminished state of being. It interferes with coherence through the body. More on that in just a moment. It demonstrates or represents a separation from wholeness. And the conclusion becomes that you are better off without a subluxation than you are with a subluxation. Will my gout go away? I have no idea. I don't treat gout, but I do know this. If you have subluxation in your spine and your nervous system, and that affects all of the connective tissue surrounding all of these other systems, then your body cannot communicate properly. It is not in a state of coherence. There is an energy and information imbalance and disturbance that is occurring, and you can't be all that you can be. So again, what is the chiropractic approach to lupus? It is to locate, analyze, and facilitate the correction of this thing called a vertebral subluxation, simply because it represents an interference to the ideal expression of life. And when it is gone, then the patient has a better opportunity to express life, health, vitality, function, adaptation, coherence, etc., at a better level. Will the gout go away? I have no idea. Will the lupus go away? I have no idea. But you have a better chance of living with or without lupus without a vertebral subluxation. So the definition of a subluxation as defined by the chiropractic profession, and we would add the word vertebral to the term subluxation because they are primarily in the spine, is a diminished state of being comprising of decreased coherence. What the heck does that mean? Well, a diminished state of being is best illustrated by this rheostat light bulb. If this maximum expression of light is the ideal state of being and a maximum state of coherence, which is harmony and balance and communication, etc., well then this is a diminished state of being, a decreased coherence. And basically what this is describing is something that happens in the nervous system and the musculoskeletal system and the connective tissue system, whereby everything isn't in a state of harmony and well-being and perfect coherence. There's a distortion. There's a disturbance. There's a subluxation affecting the biomechanical system, the neurologic system, affecting the patient's ability to adapt. Well, my methods of chiropractic are limited to locating, analyzing, and facilitating the correction of vertebral subluxation as defined by the chiropractic profession. And I'm also the developer of light force adjusting methods, which I've been doing now for over 30 years. And it's amazing what we can accomplish with a light sustained contact, or with the instrument that we've developed, a light sustained contact with a little vibration added to it, or a gentle spring-loaded adjusting instrument, or an electronic instrument. We have a saying, you can always use more force, but you cannot use less. Certainly next visit you can, but if we use too much force and the patient feels like they've been injured or feels sore afterwards, they may or may not give us another opportunity to apply our love and our skill. And so we start with a very light, gentle, sustained contact and perhaps add a little bit of vibration to that light, sustained contact or thrust with an adjusting instrument. But most of our work is done very specifically and gently up here in the upper cervical spine, right where the brainstem and the spinal cord meet each other. And also down in the sacrum, the part of the spine that serves as the foundation upon which all the other vertebrae are stacked upon. If we can do a great job in the upper cervical and a great job in the sacral area, then most everything else takes care of itself. So what do you bring to the table? You live in a stress-filled, fallen world, and you have been subject to chemical stress and mental and emotional stress and physical stress and stressors your entire life. And bless their hearts, these kids today, for how many years have they been sitting texting on their phones and computing and then driving? Everything just brings us forward. We all have forward head posture, and so much damage is done by texting and using tablets and so forth. Then we are all breathing polluted air and consuming foods with chemicals and dyes and pollutants and so forth. And the medicines that we have to take or choose to take have things in them that serve as chemical poisons and so forth. We are all under so much stress, mental and physical, chemical, all sorts of different stressors. And as long as our ability to adapt to the amount of stress that's in our life is high and our stress level is low, we do okay. But the very minute that our stress levels overwhelm our body's ability to adapt, that's when we can short circuit. That's when we get subluxations or we become subluxated. Subluxation isn't typically an event, it's a lifestyle. It's a process. We live in an old home. It was originally built in 1934 and added on in 1950 something or other, but the electrical system is ancient. And last week we got down into not even the single digit, we got into the negatives. So we had space heaters throughout the house so that the pipes wouldn't burst and so forth. And, putting one space heater in place didn't really do anything. Putting 2 in didn't do anything. Putting 3 and 4, all of a sudden we wake up to, and our power had gone out. We had blown a bunch of circuits because we had slowly but surely added things to the circuit that were sapping it of its power, and eventually it just gave way under the pressure. So what do you bring to the table? You bring this list of things that are indicative of not being your ideal self. That may be a lack of energy. It may be poor sleep. It may be a poor attitude, poor ability to concentrate, any number of symptoms. You bring a list of things that are not ideal in your life, and you bring your stress, and you lay down on my table and let me perform my chiropractic exam. And what do I bring to the table? 33 years of chiropractic educated intelligence. I also bring my sensory nervous system, a keen ability to palpate your spine and take in information into my sensory nervous system. When we study some of the quantum stuff, we recognize that not only do I bring my educated intelligence to the table, but there's a blending of my energy field and your energy field and a bit of an exchange of information there, and then a sensory nervous system that is trained to find things that other people's can't. Just like a musician has a nervous system that is capable of doing things that other people's nervous system can't do. And other skilled people have developed their muscle memory and their sensory input and their brain processing and so forth in such a way that they can seemingly do things that other people can't do. Perhaps some people can be trained to do those things with practice, but I think of certain people on YouTube who I watch them perform as musicians and think, there's something beyond just what a standard nervous system can do there. There's something extraordinary or extrasensory. And so I bring to the table a sensory nervous system extra capable of finding areas of interference and incoherence and problem in your body. And then I bring a brain that's been trained to process that information and tell me exactly how and where a force or an energy might be applied that your body's innate intelligence could use to unwind the tension, to restore ideal communication, to facilitate the correction of the vertebral subluxation, knowing that if we can do that and keep that subluxation in a process of ever correcting itself, then your quality of life, health, and vitality will skyrocket. That's why I like to call this orientation the new practice member or new practice partner. We are a partnership. We are an interface, a coming together of two or more people or systems to collaborate to solve a problem. The problem is you have vertebral subluxation. The solution is I know how to facilitate the correction thereof, and your body is better capable and your mind is better capable of facilitating that correction without vertebral subluxation, without interference. So somebody asks, how often do I have to come? And the answer is however often that you want. It's not my job to make you come. Oftentimes people will say once you go to the chiropractor, they make you come for the rest of your life. The truth of that is that I can't even make myself get out of bed every morning. I can't make you come to my office and receive my care. But let's talk about things realistically. Ideally, you would have a spine, a nervous system, and a whole system that's free of interference for the rest of your life. You should pursue chiropractic care for the rest of your life, just like you should eat healthy for the rest of your life. You should exercise for the rest of your life. You should be very proactive in how you forgive people for the rest of your life. You should save money for the rest of your life. There are things that add value to your life, and you should pursue those things on an ongoing basis. So, a person calls with a problem that they want corrected. Doctor, can you help my dog that has hip dysplasia? Can you help my daughter's migraine headaches? Can you help this? Can you help that? And we go back to that slide with the 200 different signs and symptoms. What's the chiropractic approach to a dog with hip dysplasia or a teenager with migraine headaches? Well, I don't have a specific adjustment for that specific condition, but what I do have the ability to do is to analyze and examine your spine and nervous system for evidence of vertebral subluxation as defined by the chiropractic profession, and I am uniquely qualified to very gently and specifically facilitate the correction thereof so that your body's innate wisdom and innate apps that were designed for self-healing can express at their ideal level. So again, how often do I have to come? Well, you need to come until you're really noticing that you're feeling better, and then probably 1 to 4 times a month for the rest of your life. And every patient's a little bit different depending upon their stress levels and, what's their job like? Do they sit all day? People that are sedentary need more chiropractic care than people that are active and out doing things. People who eat nothing but junk food and processed food need a lot more chiropractic care than someone who gets out and hikes and enjoys the sunshine and the fresh air and eats organic food, etc. But I would say that in the stress-filled world that we live in, very rarely can someone go a month without not benefiting from a chiropractic adjustment. More often people need to come in not need to come in, but would benefit from coming in a couple of times a month. Occasionally, especially in people that don't make any real proactive lifestyle changes. Sometimes they need to come in on a weekly basis. But the idea is not that you come in when you've hurt yourself. The subluxation and chiropractic care is not related to a specific event as much as it is a process of unwinding from the effects of a lifetime of stress that leads to interference. And so in our practice, we see people where they're at, and we will see people who only come in when they are in pain, but they don't get any sort of a financial discount or reward for making chiropractic a part of their lifestyle. And as they get healthier and they function better and adapt and are more coherent, etc., then they want to make chiropractic a part of their lifestyle. And the more that they want to come in, and the more often that they want to come in, then the greater the opportunity for a financial benefit and a reduction of fees is. So, with everything, if I were just to speak generically, I recommend that everybody get themselves to a point where every 7 to 14 days they're checked and adjusted when needed. And that's probably a good regimen for the rest of most people's lives. Children, when they first get under care, if they first get under care when they're infants, they might go a month or two between needing to be adjusted. But it's always a good idea to check on an ongoing basis and adjust if and only if there is a subluxation present. Well, I would be honored to serve you as your chiropractor, or your child, or your husband, or your dog, or your horse, or your cat. I would love to serve as your family's chiropractor. If I can answer any questions that you might have, or you'd like to engage in a discussion, or you'd like to see more about what we do in our light foursome methods, by all means, reach out. Let's have a conversation. I would really be honored to have that opportunity to communicate my approach to chiropractic and see how that might affect your quality of life, health, and vitality.